Today I'm in Chorrillos with Carlos Montes. Is that correct, Carlos?
Yeah.
Carlos Montes, and we're going to look at some of Carlos's sculptures and have a beer together. Carlos, I was looking at some of your work, and your work deals with the sculpture, especially with some social aspects of life.
Yeah.
I really love the sculpture about the dogs. I think that was awesome. It's a great piece, a great concept. Can you talk to me about the sculpture of the dogs? The two dogs are chained together and they can't escape each other. What's that a reference of?
To me, it was a reference because I didn't see the situation here with a short-term solution, and I see everything like, I see there's no help in the near future, and I think that will be well represented by two dogs chained to each other. And besides, I think, and this is something that I have seen for my own, when you have two dogs that are completely strange to each other, chained or close in a very tiny space, they will try to attack each other to see who can survive or who can actually have the chance to live. One of the things that I usually see in the streets of Lima are dogs, stray dogs, and it's common to see them fighting. I made some sort of, I compared the image with the people here trying to survive every day, struggling to have money, struggling to have a job, and doing a lot of things, illegal things, doing a lot of things that you can say are not exactly well, because they need the money, and sometimes they do that because they are attached to some conditions made by the government, made by how the things work in some way here, and people need to work, people need to survive. So I had these two dog sculptures as comparison with that reality of people suffering and doing a lot of things to survive. I'm not saying that the things they are doing are great. I'm just comparing and saying, yeah, we are like dogs fighting each other for a piece of meat, because that's we do. We don't exactly live. We survive here.
And these dogs are an analogy for
everyday people, common people struggling every day. Yeah. And in some way, to me, it was important the wooden structure from where those were, those stand, because to me it represented in some way the country. Peru, and in fact, a lot of countries in South America are not exactly well-developed countries. And this is structure from where those are attached and those are represent the how everything's not well made, how everything's like do it but not completed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It
I
shows
understand.
poverty, it shows desperation in some way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Carlos, I was looking at some of your work, and your work deals with the sculpture, especially with some social aspects of life. Another sculpture that you did that I really like was the pigs.
Yeah.
The pig representing
The bank.
the bank, and,
Yeah.
and the idea of a greedy pig.
A huge piggy bank, really an awful, yeah. The idea behind that was to compare the souvenirs that some banks gives you when you go to ask for information or when you want to open an account, when they give you those little beautiful piggy banks that are so roundly, so beautiful, so pink, but in fact pigs are not that way. Like the banks are not that beautiful as they want to show you. And furthermore, in this country, banks are, yes, terrible. They can charge you with a lot of stuff. You get in debt really easily. And to me, it was a great way to compare how banks really are, with comparing their piggy banks with how pigs are. In fact, though, pigs are not cute as we see them in cartoons. Pigs are really awful beasts, can grow really strong and be really aggressive. Banks are. Like, and one of the things that I decided to add to this big sculpture, this piggy bank, was some sort of humor sense, because let's face it, it's a huge big sculpture, but at the same time it's really fun to watch. It's fun at the same time, gives you this idea of violence.
You also did a series of sculptures that are anthropomorphic sculptures of people who are part chicken.
Yeah.
Can you talk about those?
To me, the chicken was a metaphor for how people's used by countries, governments, and in fact in general, because people can be so easily vote, can be so easily used. And they seem to have no rights, at least here. If you work for someone here in Peru, you will notice soon that government is not going to support you, or it's not going to offer you any help if you get in debt, if you get sick. I mean, there is a lot of things that are against you, and at the same time, I felt on the chickens as something that you can buy for almost nothing, that you can consume and you can easily get and grow in huge quantities. I was doing a comparison between how the handwork is here very cheap. It's very handy for enterprises, but they don't receive the credit they should receive.